Welcome my viewers in my channel this day as we continue to encourage one another. For those who have not been able to follow, I'm Jean Agnes. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a teacher, I'm a pastoral counselor, and I love the Lord as my personal savior. We have been sharing about low self-esteem, and I want us to continue with the same topic for today. And previously we shared about signs and outcome of low self-esteem, and we realized that there are so many signs, there are so many outcomes when we go through low self-esteem. And now today I want us to think about the causes or the influence of low self-esteem. In my previous video or two videos before, I talked about even men of God who went through very low self-esteem in their lives, because we have realized and we have said that low self-esteem, it can find anyone, and there is no one who is perfect or who is super, because this is a moment that comes. I will not say once, it can come many times, but it depends with how we are able to tackle it, with how we are able to deal with it. For today, when we think about causes, when we think about, what influences or what causes self-esteem, there are quite a number of things that we can see, but I'm just going to go through a few of them as I encourage someone who could be going through low self-esteem and they are wondering why. We are going to answer those questions as we move on. I'll start by saying that low self-esteem can be caused by lack of love. If you feel you are not loved, if you feel that you are suffering from being loved, that can give you very low self-esteem, and it has a very great percentage. And then number two, if you are not given attention, people requires attention. If I talk to you and I'm not giving you my attention, you will feel unwanted, you will feel self-worthiness, you feel you are not worth, and that will bring, or it will cause low self-esteem. Something else that will bring or that will cause or influence low self-esteem, it is not being involved. You are in a family setup, there are many things that happen in a family, and you find that people are doing things and you are not aware, you are not involved. It's like you're not being noticed. This one can happen in a family setup. It can also happen in our working places. It can happen in our social gatherings, that nobody acknowledges you, nobody notices you, and that one can cause a person to go through low self-esteem. Something else is environmental and biological factors. Where you are born, where you grew up, the kind of environment, the setup, all these things, they will cause someone to go through low self-esteem. As I mentioned earlier, I went through a very low esteem moment, and I've gone through several of them. Mine was caused by the environment that I was living in, and it was also caused by other biological factors that I may mention a few. There was a time that I realized, or that I went through a very bad health condition, and it was not one, there were several of them. I will just mention one or two. And this time I was a teacher. I was teaching in a private academy, and the teachers that I was working with, some of them didn't know what I was going through, and those who knew, they had very little to offer. And I remember many incidences when I was pinned down that I'm not performing. And the reason why I was not in a position even to defend myself, it is because of shame. And it was also because of stigma. I had a health problem whereby I was bleeding so much. And I was even embarrassed to go to the hospital because I didn't know how I will present myself. I used to have bleeding for 3 weeks consecutively, and even sometimes a month. And with this bleeding, I was feeling a lot of shame. I was feeling embarrassed. I was feeling I don't belong. When I saw people talking, I thought that they were discussing about me. I thought even I was smelling. So I had a feeling of unworthiness. I had a feeling of a very low self-esteem moment that made me not feel like a woman. I felt even not like a human being, and I wondered why I was going through all this. And when I started going to the hospital, the doctor or the gynecologist